Department reads, a picture's worth 1,000 words. No smiles for Iraqis living under ISIS rule. No joy, only fear. Hashtag think again, turn away. Another tweet says, interesting fact, 5 Nobel Peace Prize winners since 2003 were Muslim, living testimony to true principles of Islam. The big question is, does this work? Joining me now, Imam Elahi of the Islamic House of Wisdom. Welcome, Imam.
Thank you, Carol.
Thank you so much for being with me this morning. So the United States is trying to fight back with its own propaganda campaign online. Do you think that's effective?
Well, I wonder how serious our government and Western governments in general in their dealing with ISIS. To be very close to Saudi Arabia, that is the source of ideology and energy of these Taliban, ISIS, Boko Haram, Al-Qaeda, and other criminals, and not even to talk with the governments and the nations that are fighting ISIS, like Syria, that lost more than 70,000 people just in 2014 out of these criminal terrorists. So we must be really serious and to take this matter with the governments and the nations that they are serious about fighting terrorism. And, you know, unfortunately, it's a tough time for us as Muslim and for our faith of being targeted by 2 types of terrorism. The physical one, like the criminals in the terrorist organizations, and also the psychological terrorism of Islamophobia. Now they call it Pegida in Germany. And looks like these terrorists and these extremists, they are helping one another. Then they are very, very happy. They are making business for one another. They are making their markets popular. And then the main target and the main victims here, we are the mainstream Muslims and our prophet and our faith. We are there to condemn. For example, this recently Charlie magazine, though I disagree with the content of their cartoons, and I believe that with freedom of speech and expression comes responsibility, but the crimes of ISIS and Al-Qaeda and other Boko Haram much worse than the problem of cartoons. So we don't need these guys. We need people like Martin Luther King. As a matter of fact, this Sunday, entire interfaith in Dearborn High is coming to our mosque, House of Wisdom, to honor the non-violence movement of Luther King, because he represents the message of Moses, Jesus, and Muhammad. And we have somebody like him, like Ayatollah Sistani in Iraq, and former president of Iran, Khatami, and now President Rouhani. He brought the resolution of anti-violence and terrorism to United Nations last year. So really we need to deal with the serious people. We leave this story of all this conversion that you already were talking about for Saudi Arabia, that for the last 30, 40 years, they spent billions and billions of dollars to promote their ideology. It's not Islam, it is just Wahhabism and Salafism. And it is a kind of sick mentality that says even building a snowman for fun for the kids consider blasphemy. So we have to be careful about this.
Imam, I'd like to center on how we can prevent the radicalization of young men and women here in the United States. What would be the most effective way to do that?
Well, it is to say that there is no such a thing as radical Islam. Islam is a religion of reason, religion of peace, religion of respect for human rights, religion of responsibility, and any mentality and any kind of teachings that are against human common sense, against peace, against rationality, against respect for human life and human property and human intellect and human integrity, it is against Islam. And this is why we consider these guys the real enemies of Islam. But unfortunately, we don't receive the support from the world in our fight against terrorism. We need to provide more awareness and education to their families, to themselves. Unfortunately, many of these youth, they are unmasked. They don't come to the mosque. They learn all this sickness and all this poison and barbarism online from those terrorist organizations, and they are supported by our close allies like Saudi Arabia.
Right.
And this is really the problem, that we have to make a right political decision and let them know that that is not jihad, that is genocide in the name of jihad. They are doing rape in the name of religion.
I have to leave it there. Imam Elahi, thank you so much for joining me this morning. I appreciate it. I'll be right back.